Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I'm so excited today because it's the Sagittarius Season Astrology Guide. So I'm pretty pumped. I am an Aries, so I feel pretty connected to Sagittarius. And I realized as I was gathering my information for this that we have almost completed the astrology guides because we started in Pisces. So we've got Capricorn and Aquarius left, and then we'll be done with these. We'll have to figure out what to do next year. But that's so exciting. And also exciting news, this is the last video where I will be in this apartment. So you guys know I'm moving. If not, I will have my moving vlog up. So I don't know when that'll be up. Whenever I've moved in and survived it, I guess. It's been really crazy, but I'll have that up in December sometime. And yeah, so I'm really excited to talk about this with you guys. If you're new here, my name's Luna. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure to subscribe and comment and like and do all that good stuff. I do have my podcast, Good Witch, Bad Bitch, where we get a little bit more personal and we talk about just more things within the divine feminine and being a witch in today's society. And I also have my Patreon if you want to become a part of the Moon Fam and get tons of different content and exclusive things like book clubs. And we're actually going to we have a book club every zodiac season for a book that we feel represents the energy of the season. So we just voted. The vote hasn't fully came in yet, but it does look like it's leaning towards one specific book, but I will know by the time I edit this, and I'll put it here, so if you want to be a part of that book club, feel free to join, and then you can vote for the Capricorn season when that comes up. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So I always like to start with why it's so important to feel the energy. Why are we talking about this? Why not just no, it's Sagittarius season? Well, as you know, as an astrologer, I believe that the things that are happening within our stars have an effect on us personally and us collectively. And I think same thing when it's Mercury retrograde. It's good to know, hey, I might need to be extra intentional with how I communicate, and I might need to give myself more time to get ready because things like to kind of be a little crazy during Mercury retrograde in terms of communication and showing up. Any type of thing going on, we always like to be aware of it, even with a full moon, with a new moon, we like to be aware of what's happening so that we can be prepared for the energies that will be present, and it'll help us to have the most smooth experience and actually get a positive experience from it and learn something from it. So that's why I think it's really important to watch these videos and understand what the heck's going on in the stars. So my first quest for you is to look at your natal birth chart, and I'll kind of walk you through how to do that. I like to use astro.com. There are some other ones like Cafe Astrology that is really good, but I prefer astro.com. So if you go to astro.com, go under free horoscopes, you'll find natal chart / ascendant, I think is what it's called, and click it, and then you'll enter your name, your date of birth, the time you were born, and the city and country, and you can find all of your information, and it'll give you your birth chart wheel. And that's the most important thing to look at, because if you do co-star or whatever, you will maybe have Sagittarius in your 8th house, but you don't have any planets there, so it just won't tell you. But the house placement is also very important. So the 3 things to figure out: do you have any planets in Sagittarius? If it's your big 3, like your sun, moon, or rising, that's really impactful. But if it's your Jupiter or your Pluto or, whatever, that's still impactful. Look up, what that planet means within Sagittarius and know that those vibes, those energies will be more present. And also look at which house it's in. So if it's in your 8th house or your 3rd house or your 12th house, I'll put my handy dandy house chart right here. You can get a bit of a view, if it's in your 12th house, this will be a really deep time for mental exploration and shadow work. Whereas if it's in your 2nd house, maybe this is the time to invest or do something financially. Looking at what kind of controls the house it's in, because those themes will also pop up. So that's my quest for you guys. Go ahead and do that in a separate tab or do that after the video and figure out what the heck you might be experiencing. Next, I like to look at the basic information. Let us get acquainted with the energy of Sagittarius. So the dates for Sagittarius are November 22nd through December 21st. And the symbolism, it is a fire sign, so it's got that fieriness, that it's very brave, they're very courageous, they're very ready to debate, like Leos and Aries. They are a mutable sign though, so they are less aggressive than Aries, which I say a little bit hesitantly. Being an Aries, knowing some Sagittariuses, I think that for Sagittarius, rather than like cardinal Aries, rather than being like, I'm in charge, I know everything, they're a bit more chill and they handle things a bit more freely, a bit more jokingly, I guess, if that makes any sense. They do rule the 9th house, and the 9th house has the same traits of Sagittarius, so it's the house of philosophy and travel and free thinking and expansion. They are ruled by Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion, so you'll see those themes correlate as well. I also like to look at the signs and their yin or their yang, their feminine or masculine, and Sagittarius, being a fire sign, is considered a masculine sign. Now this has like nothing to do with how we view gender roles in our society over here in Western culture. It's not like that. It just means that people with Sagittarius heavy in their chart, they're going to have more of the yang qualities of being more like strategic go-getters. They have a hard time resting. They have a hard time just like existing. And they're a lot more goal-oriented, I guess. Not to say that feminine energy is not goal-oriented, but feminine energy is a lot more flowing, creativity, emotions, whereas masculine is like the doing. I always like to think of with your sides, the right side is masculine, the left side is feminine. The right side is like giving, doing, oppressing, but not like in the negative sense. And the left side, the feminine, is like the receiving, and the stillness, if that makes any sense. I feel like that was a weird explanation. I'm sorry if that confused you. And their symbolism, they have the arrow, they have the centaur, all that goodness. A little breakdown on what I think of Sagittarius as a sign, some like basic traits within a Sagittarius person. These are also some traits that you might feel a little bit heightened within yourself. Again, say your Venus is in Sagittarius, so the planet of love and beauty and how you express love is in this fiery sign. You might feel even a little bit more fiery and passionate and all of the Sagittarius energy a bit more during this time because it's in its natal home. So about Sagittarius, I think that they are known for being very funny and very charismatic. They're very, very adventurous. They're kind of known for always being on the go, always looking for the next adventure, the next thing. They can be very blunt and aggressive, and I think sometimes they come off a little bit more aggressive than they mean. Sometimes I think they mean to be as aggressive as they come off, but sometimes it just kind of is, especially if your Mars or your Mercury is in Sagittarius, you might find that your expression and your communication is a bit more blunt, and you might not 100% always mean it to, but they are very fun. They do like to just like be silly and play around, but when they pop off, they do pop off. So do know that they're not all fun and games. Like they will absolutely get aggressive and get defensive and debate and stuff. But they do have a bit of a more fun-loving exterior is what I've seen. Being ruled by the planet Jupiter gives them a lot of natural luck. They just seem to kind of get things, not easily, but they find themselves in very lucky situations. And like I said before, I see them as very similar to Aries, but they're a bit less serious and a bit more playful, but all the same aggressive. I always like to attribute some colors to different signs. I find it pretty easy to connect energy to colors. Feel free to literally take this and go with whatever you feel like you connect with, because especially if you're doing glamour magic or incorporating color magic into your work, your association with the color is more important than like what I say I connect with. But the colors that I really see when I think of Sagittarius is red. I also see deep green and purple as well. And sometimes I get a bit of like a gold vibe as well too. And I always like to connect where we're at now in Sagittarius season to our previous sign, because I do view the 12 signs as a cycle and as a complete opportunity for growth and transformation. So it's really beneficial to look back on what was presented to us and what energies are coming into view now, so that we can see kind of where to shift our gears, where to be doing our self-growth and our expansion in now. So we just left Scorpio, which was a very, very introspective shadow work time of transformation and like all things dark, really getting into like the nitty-gritty and like the parts of ourselves that maybe we don't like always want to deal with, the shadow self and whatnot. But it's also, I think Scorpio season's very interesting because it is that kind of plunge into winter. And Sagittarius continues this too as we start to, at least most of us in the northern hemisphere, we have our winter and things get cold and things die and it's, sad. Like there's like seasonal depression and shit. But I think Sagittarius picks us back up from this like deep introspective view and takes us into a bit of a more extroverted view, because Sagittarius people, they're very philosophical and they are always like trying to explore the meaning of life and like new things, but they're doing it more in an adventurous and a people-oriented way, whereas Scorpio is very much like alone in your dark room with your typewriter talking about like the depths of the soul. You know what I mean? So it's kind of different, but it's continuing that expansion of your perception of the world, but it's moving it from an introspective view to a view on like society and the world, if that made any sense. So now you'll maybe feel a bit more extroverted. You might want to hang out with friends and go do stuff. So a little bit more people-oriented than Scorpio season, which we just came from. I always like to share some Sagittarius icons to kind of see like how the energy plays out within the celebrity sphere. We can really have these as strong examples. First one is my mother. I did my dad a little shout out last season in Scorpio season because he's a Scorpio. So I had to give my mom a little shout out. Happy Sagittarius season, Mom. And she is a true Sag. She really is. And growing up, that was a hard, Aries to Sag, but we've learned to manage it. We've learned to handle our fires. And it's beautiful. Mainly within Sagittarius celebrities, a huge thing that I see, a lot of the men, I don't feel a huge, I don't feel like they're incredibly outwardly Sagittarius. I don't know, but a lot of our feminine celebrities are just true Sagittarius. So we've got Miley Cyrus, and we know she really grew up as like a Disney star, was very had to be kind of conservative with her appearance. And when she turned 18, everyone was like, oh my God, she went off the rails. But what she did was she went in true Sagittarius fashion and was like, I don't care about, these societal roles that I'm expected to portray. Like, this is my life. I'm going to live it as crazy as I want it to be, and I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And that is so purely Sagittarius. Like, they are very, a little bit crazy, a little bit all over the place, but they don't give a fuck. And like, I think that's great. So we see that with Miley Cyrus. We also kind of see that with Billie Eilish. She has a bit more of like a darker, I don't know if she has any Scorpio placements, but she gives me a lot of Scorpio vibes. But again, with that, like, I don't care what people think or what they expect of me. I'm going to do what I want. I think that shows very much with her too. And lastly, Scarlett Johansson, okay? She has managed to really be professional, but also, like, I don't give a fuck. There's tons of videos of her, like, speaking up towards sexist interviewers and people who say really weird shit to her, and she doesn't, like, laugh and play it off. She just, like, looks them in the face and is like, why would you say that? Like, she's very direct, And like we've seen with her latest thing with like Disney Plus or whatever, it was like a lawsuit. You know, she stands up for what she believes. And so I think that's very Sagittarius. I think we have a lot of great examples of female Sagittarius celebrities who really like rock their shit. So for this next part, I always like to include some rituals, some activities to incorporate into your daily life that really exude Sagittarius energy if you're wanting to step into that a little bit more. So the first one is to be extra adventurous. I know that's kind of vague, but try to do something that's like totally crazy for you, a little bit outside of your comfort zone. So if you're scared of riding roller coasters, go ride some roller coasters, like go on a blind date. Sagittarians are very courageous, and I think this is a really good time to emulate that energy and to do things that require courage and, you know, nothing that is like actually dangerous or makes you actually uncomfortable, but things that are like, you know, I have social anxiety. I would never go up to a person and ask for their number or whatever, you know, things that require some like courage from you. I think this is a really great time to do that. Next, kind of piggybacking off of that, but a little bit less scary, is to explore things, new things that you do love. So if you like coffee, go travel to some cool coffee shop, you know, go camping, travel to a new city nearby and go shopping, just basically exploring, hiking, traveling on a new adventure in a fun way. You know, if you like shopping, you know, find a cool shopping place a couple cities over, go on like a weekend trip or something. Just things that are very fun for you. Just go ahead and like explore it even more. Next, do a ritual to step into your power. So like I said, with the celebrities, we've seen these very strong women who are unafraid to speak their mind and be exactly who they are. And I think this is something that a lot of us struggle with. And so learn to harness, you know, your bold, unapologetic, loud energy through a ritual. And you can literally do this in whatever way speaks to you. You can just write out any of the traits that you really want to bring into your life and light some candles and manifest on it and do your makeup up, feel like a glamorous bad bitch, and just really invoke the energy of boldness in whatever way that speaks to you. You know, you can literally like make like a bold, you know, rose drink and like embed it with, you know, bad bitch energy. And as you drink it, you know, just imagine that you're becoming that bad bitch inside of you. You can literally do this in any way that speaks to you. So I don't have a specific like step-by-step thing. Do whatever speaks to you, but I would highly recommend doing some sort of like encouraging your boldness ritual. Lastly, I would recommend that you guys go to some artistic events, bonus points if they are very thought-provoking. Like I said, Sagittarians are very much philosophical and like to explore like different ideas and the meanings of life and stuff. So I think art is a great way to experience that, and it's also very fun. It keeps Sagittarius people interested. They get bored very easily, and so I think that'd be a great idea. Some crystals to meditate on or to carry with you for Sagittarius energy. First one is turquoise. That is the birthstone, and this crystal has a lot of like tranquility, calming energy that will really help that fiery Sagittariusness that we'll feel this month. Bronzite is another very good stone for Sagittarius because it's grounding and it'll really like decrease any of the impulsiveness that we might feel. Citrine is big Sagittarius energy. It's that good fortune, abundance, confidence, courageousness. So this is just like an all-around Sagittarius crystal. And lastly, amethyst will help Sagittarius energy and Sagittarians to connect to their higher chakras and remain aligned and, you know, in tune with their higher self and not getting too caught up in like the 3D world. Another tip I have is to listen to Sagittarius inspiring music. Every month I make a playlist on my Spotify of music that I think really incorporates the energy of the sign well, because I just feel like whenever I'm trying to get into a vibe or like embody a certain energy, music is like the #1 way I can do that. So I will link that down below. I'll have it here, and feel free to favorite it or listen to it whenever you like. Lastly, my section on Glamour Magick. So this is a very fun time for Glamour Magick, and I don't feel like I can give too many bullet points because I feel like that's antithetical to Sagittarius energy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to constrict you guys. But the main thing I'm going to say is to try something new or crazy for you. Go outside what you usually do. Try things that are like loud and bold and like push your boundaries a little bit, because you might find that it's really fun. But also I will say, with your Glamour Magick and like your presentation, strive to use it to connect to your truth and to be authentic, because like we've said, Sagittarians, they do not care about societal norms, like they don't care about definitions and labels. Like, if you feel like there's something you've been wanting to wear or a way you want to present or a style of makeup or hair that you want to wear, but you're like afraid to, you're nervous it won't look right on you, like now's the perfect time to reject all fear and to just do what makes you feel good and do what feels authentic. So that is all from me, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. Again, if you'd like to join my Sagittarius Season book club, I will leave the link down below. I'm so excited. I hope you guys have an amazing Sagittarius season. So much fun transformation is coming my way, and I'm excited to share that with you. I hope you guys are having fun and staying safe and warm wherever you are, and I will see you all next time in a new place. Oh my god, this is my last outro here. That's so sad. I loved this corner. Man. Anyway, it'll be the same stuff. It'll be the same energy. We're bringing all the energy with us. We'll be in California. It's crazy. I'm gonna look back on this video in like years and be like, oh, I was so scared to go to California. That's crazy. I am. I think it'll be crazy, but I think I'll get used to it quick. Anyway, enough rambling. You'll hear about that in the vlog. I'll see you guys later. Bye.